Tensions are ratcheting up across the globe. A shaky ceasefire is in place in the Middle East after a month of fighting in Gaza. Other conflicts include clashes between the Ukraine and Russia, the growing threat of ISIS, which is taking over infrastructure in Iraq, and there's also renewed fighting in Afghanistan. Now, amid all the chaos, there's some sobering news for our U.S. forces.
Yeah, get this. While all that is going on, 550 Army majors are being pink-slipped, while some of them are still deployed in a war zone. Our next guest says cutting our most experienced troops is leaving our country very vulnerable at a precarious time.
Yep, Pete Hegseth is the CEO for Concerned Veterans for America. He's also a veteran of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
These pink slips coming after another slash of 1,200 captains from their ranks, and getting these pink slips while they're serving, probably not the best time to do this. Is this the best time to be doing this at all? This world seems to be getting more dangerous.
Well, that's right. The world is getting more dangerous. The last thing a major needs in a war zone is a pink slip saying within 30 days of this date, you have to be home and out of the military. Think about majors. They've been in for 10 to 15 years. That is the longevity of the conflict we've been in since 9/11. These are your most experienced officers. They've been platoon leaders. They've been company commanders. They've seen the enemy firsthand on the battlefield. They're going to be our future leaders. And because we're right-sizing the force, because the president wants to chop our military, in order to maintain a force, you've got to cut majors, and so the Army is doing what it has to do in a tighter budget environment.
And there's always going to be pink slips that come at certain times.
Sure.
It's just the way the military works. But to have so many at such kind of a scary time, given the fact that there are people all around the world who want to kill us, and we're essentially going to have a brain drain.
Absolutely. And what we're creating is what I would call a high-risk force. Are we still going to be the most powerful military in the world? Yes. The largest, the most technologically advanced? Yes. But are we going to be able to face the threats of today and the future as competently as we want? No. And can you scale up quickly again? You can't just recreate another major or another lieutenant colonel, another colonel. The cuts we're making now will be saddled on the backs of future commanders-in-chief who will face future threats in a world that's getting more dangerous without 550 majors and 1,200 captains.
Well, let's talk about the threats, because you understand this better than anyone. We're talking about multiple threats in a complex world. We've already announced to the world that we can't handle multiple threats. We can't handle multiple theaters of war.
That's right.
And so now, are we trying to bring our forces down to a pre-World War II level? Is that accurate? I mean, I've heard that description.
Yeah, we're going to have the smallest land force, combat force since World War II in our military. And our combat air force is going to be the smallest it's been ever and less technologically advanced as far as the time frame. We are creating a force that reflects budget cuts, not strategy and not threats. This administration passed a quadrennial review that said we no longer need to be able to fight two wars at the same time. Now it's fight one and defeat an enemy and then kind of manage another one.
And we announced that.
And we announced that to the world, which is, I wonder why Vladimir Putin does what he does.
Sure.
They read that and they calculate accordingly.
Yeah, emboldening our adversaries in a lot of respects.
And leaving our allies out there to dry. I mean, you've seen Bibi Netanyahu making calculations today based on an America he can't count on.
Right.
What do you think this is going to do to morale for people serving right now, and also little Johnny, who might want to grow up and be a soldier one day, and then sees the way.
Yeah, let's just say that Gavin walked out with a pink slip for you right now and said, but just continue the rest of the show. Right. That's effectively what you're telling these majors. Thank you for your combat experience, but here's a pink slip. But we just want you to finish this time, and then good luck finding a job elsewhere. The military is not a jobs program. There's places where we can be more efficient in the way that we spend. But to do this way in a time of war sends the signal to the individual and to the enemy that we're not serious about those threats.
Captain, I know you never like to talk to the Pentagon and tell them what they should be doing, but do you have a better idea on how to save some money, which they've got to do because we've got to take the money that we've got in the Pentagon right now and put it in other programs? What would you do instead?
Absolutely. You can start with processes like acquisitions reform, the way that we procure new weapon systems, new missiles, new planes. We spend billions more than we should. It takes years longer than we should because it's a process that was started under the Eisenhower administration and has never been properly sort of reformed. Congress has tried and tried and tried. Our group, Concerned Veterans for America, is going to try to help them actually achieve this so that we cut the fat to keep the muscle. You keep the major, you lose the waste. It's not just waste, it's processes. There's big things that need to be reformed. The money's there to be found if you need to, but right now we're doing it arbitrarily. We're chopping people, personnel, which is the quickest, easiest way, but not the smartest way.
Change the system.
That's right.
All right. Captain Pete Hegseth reporting for duty here on the Kirby Couch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.